Okay, we're heading into the final few chapters of Yugami-kun. Last time I said there was just 4 chapters remaining, but that's because I accidentally read the first page of the chapter we're reading now, or like I opened up the cover by mistake. So there's actually 5. That makes me feel a little better. This one is called Watanabe-kun Lends a Hand. So this will be interesting to see. Is this the Watanabe-kun redemption arc, so to speak? The last volume ended on a pretty decisive moment. Chihiro-chan calling out her classmates, saying, "Why do you keep talking about reading the mood? Don't you just mean acting in a way that's convenient for us? Don't you just mean submitting to becoming the person that we want you to be?" And she said, "Stop bad-mouthing my friend," behind his back, referring to Yugami-kun as her friend. It's like the first time I think she's used that language. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's the final volume. This iconic shot of the two of them sitting next to each other. We're not going to be seeing this sight for much longer. Oh, wow, and we start off right where we left off. That's pretty rare for this series. Usually the chapters are pretty separated, and there's kind of like a little bit of an establishing opening until we return to some of the plot lines we were invested in before, but now with this kind of new theme. Here, though, we're just immediately addressing the aftermath of this strong proclamation. Stop bad-mouthing my friend with everyone. Summary of up until now. An after-party to remember. Yuji, who didn't read the mood, went home early. Now his classmates are talking shit about him. He doesn't care. No problem. I don't know. I think it's like she has to kind of choose her battles. And she more treated this like the straw that broke the camel's back. That she just couldn't take it anymore. She had to say something, which is fair. But I think their complaints that he left early and now they can't take a picture with the complete class, that's, I don't know, that's a lot more reasonable than the other things they would get mad at him about. Like, it's sort of honoring him that they want him in this picture in the first place, right? It shows that they're really thinking of him as their classmate. And even though, yeah, I think their criticisms of his character are very overblown and they're really misunderstanding who he is, I don't know, I can understand why they want a picture with everyone. And now, Watanuki-san, in a situation she's been in many times before, feels the glare of the crowd upon her. She feels isolated, left out. Yugami-kun didn't do anything wrong. He's always been like that. It's true that Yugami-kun oftentimes doesn't behave, but still, he also oftentimes does. They won't understand if I keep my mouth shut. They're all just staring at her. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's making the first move. Nobody knows how to respond. I want to see Ryota-kun stand up for Yugami-kun here. I want to see the few friends he's truly made rally around him. And alongside that, support Chihiro-san. He's just all alone right now. Oh, she just starts crying. And her friends rush over. She's so distraught, this whole situation. This exciting atmosphere we built up just went down the drain. Yeah, how indeed is he supposed to build it up back up now? And Ryota attacking Watanabe-kun. It's your fault, Watanabe-kun. It's because you insulted Yugami-kun. We do sometimes get caught up by your bad-mouthing. Whoa, they're so willing to throw him under the bus too. And yeah, so it's like, as soon as Chihiro-san started crying, I think they all realized that they had been being pretty cruel. That even if they think their motivations for doing what they're doing were reasonable, which I can understand as well, but they were going about it the wrong way. They were saying things that they shouldn't say. And so now everyone is united against Watanabe, throwing him under the bus for this whole incident. How's it all my fault? All you assholes took part in it too. Well, very true. And meanwhile, Yuji is already back home. Now, they had assumed that he would eat something at the after party, because I guess they have food and stuff at the campfire. So they didn't make him dinner, and now he's back home, probably looking for some dinner. That's my guess. Oh, no, he doesn't care. He's watching Rakugo. He didn't stay till the end of the cultural festival because he wanted to watch that. There's no food for you. I don't care. Oh, the cat is watching too. I love their little cat. It's so cute. He loves Heiraku. It's his idol. Raku really is great. I feel amazing now. This is like one of his mottos. Heiraku is really great. He said that probably a dozen times throughout the series at least. So I still wonder, what is his future going to be like? Does he actually want to be a professional Rakugo performer? I don't know why I was so assuming that he wouldn't, that he would want like a traditional good job. As I said, I think that's just extrapolation I have based on people I know that in some ways Yugami-kun reminds me of, that ended up having just solid jobs instead of doing something like that. So finally we see the title page. As I said, there's often these kind of cold openings that will introduce some sort of thematic thing. And then after the title page and stuff, we kind of get into the main things. Chihiro's name wordplay literally translates to a kind of person whose cotton insights have been removed, open to interpretation. I don't know what's going on here. So, Yugami, I didn't realize this, but the character for Gami is Kami, like God. He's got that in his name. It's like the god of hot water. The U is like the U that's used for baths. You know, sometimes you'll see hiragana U on a bath. In Hidamari's sketch, there's like a joke about it, because they go to a bath that's like something something no U, and it makes, on some of the signs, it looks like it says you know. They're like, you know. Oh yeah, it says Masa, it's called Masa no Yu. And there's a sign that when you read it from the other side, it says Yuno-sama. And everyone's like, Yuno-sama! Anyways, so yeah, that's the Yu. And then the Gami is God. And then Yuji is just two, whatever this is some sort of shrine. So she's doing all sorts of wordplay to this. I don't know what's up. All right, whatever. What do they have plugged in here at the bottom? A toaster? What is that? Is it like a chalkboard eraser cleaner machine? Is that a thing in Japan? Ooh. Haitaro is playing. I'm an alumni of the school. So he did a performance last year, and it didn't go over so great. Yugami-kun was a little disappointed in his choice of story and kind of generally how he tried to sell it to the audience. He was also very disappointed in the audience themselves, of course, unable to appreciate Rakugo from Yugami's perspective. I thought he wouldn't come back since he's become so popular and his jokes didn't stick last year, but I guess not. What a good guy. Yugami's so happy. Haitaro is a good guy. Raku is great. Haitaro is a good guy. He sometimes speaks in these sort of weird, almost mantra-like proclamations that he'll just repeat in whatever the appropriate circumstance. He'll just repeat it word for word. So, Chihiro showing up. She looks pretty worse for wear. I think my guess is that after the incidents we saw of the cultural festival wrap-up party, she just kind of went off on her own and went home, and probably has been very nervous and unhappy about what sort of blowback her rant will have. Yeah, she's so out of it. She walked right past the classroom. Oh, visiting her friend. Okay, well that's nice. Refreshed by her friend. The pretty girl again, huh? I can't deal with that girl. What's the matter for you to come here in the morning? So I feel a little better from looking at your face. Something happened? Ooh, will she eavesdrop? I don't know. I feel like she's trying to give Chihiro some space. She's worried about what happened yesterday. Of course she is. She stood against the entire class to defend Yugami. Although she ended up just destroying the mood without putting up a fight at all, yeah. She just... It's not as if Yugami-kun broke any rules. If you have something to say, then tell him. It's cowardly to blame him behind his back. But this just comes out as, tell... Oh, and she thinks back to the thrilling class trip arc where they fell off the cliff. Do you remember that? That was insane. Where she fell off the cliff, sorry. They didn't all fall off the cliff, but they all got lost. So they're trying to take that shortcut. It'll be alright. I'll defend her from everyone in class because I'm Chihiro-chan's friend. Oh, she's so great. I don't know. I really like this character. I like her whole arcs of introspection and challenging the fact that sometimes she is not a good person, that she was an asshole to Chihiro-chan, that she was jealous of her friendship with the manager, and all this stuff. That she's gone through so much. And in the end, she's capable of making resolutions like this. It's so nice. So many characters in the series have such great arcs. Ooh, the whole classroom gloomy. Everyone just appearing in shades. And poor? I don't know if we should feel sympathetic for him. Watanabe-kun ends up being the bad guy for the whole incident yesterday. I'm relieved it's not Chihiro-chan. Sure, everyone feels guilty, because at one point it seemed like everyone was teaming up to rip on Yugami. Watanabe-kun simply took Yugami-kun's place for that. Basically, yes. They started feeling very guilty about teaming up on Yugami-kun and making Chihiro cry. So then all of that energy, they needed still someone to blame because they weren't happy with how things were. All of it went to Watanabe-kun. And Ryota-kun, looking on here in horror, I'm sure blames himself because he was the one that said, "Isn't this your fault, Watanabe-kun?" So what will happen? He apologizes. You weren't the only one in the wrong. It's all ours for being carried away by that bad atmosphere. Before I knew it, I did the same thing as everyone. Good for him. Wow. Ryota's such an emotionally mature person. He's grown so much too. Oh, I love this series. Will Watanabe-kun in the end grow? So far, I think he's exhibited the least growth of all of the major minor characters. Yeah. Nice handshake. Listen up, bitches. People who can do this in times like these are what you call real friends. All you assholes are fired from being my friend. So now Watanabe-kun, who's like the cool guy of the classroom, and Ryota, the president of the Historical Research Club, have become best friends? It feels like you'd forgive him how much you get insulted or something like that. Kind of get the same feeling from Yugami, too. So I think that's a big part of it, is like, there's a big difference between bullying or shit-talking or whatever, someone who's obviously affected by it, but when it seems to just roll off like water on the duck's back to some people, it's hard not to kind of get caught up with them as like an easy scapegoat in these situations. It's kind of why I let all that nastiness slip out, yeah. But I didn't think Watanuki-san considered Yugami that close of a friend. I didn't think so either. I didn't think she would use that word. But when you think of all they've been through, how could he not? How could she not consider him a friend? How could he not consider her a friend? Well, it's Yugami-san. But Chihiro is a reasonable, sane person, so I'm sure she considers their relationship friendly. Still's not feeling one-sided. I know what you mean. I actually forgot that he would be here. Oh my god, I actually forgot. Somehow, I got tricked by this gag they've done many times before, where something is happening in the classroom. It's all very dramatic, lots of conversations simultaneously, and it's usually either tangentially about him or even directly about him. And then we cut to Yugami-kun just sitting at his desk, giving not even a tiny bit of a shit about everything that's happening, just listening to Rakugo. He's marking when Haitaro comes. She's pissed off. Why is he acting as if nothing happened? Yeah, he literally doesn't know anything happened. He doesn't know that Chihiro defended him. He doesn't know that everyone was shit-talking him. He went home. He was back at home. He had to go watch Hairaku. Okay. She slams the table. Yugami-kun, God admit it, I have something important to say. Oh, she's so great. Chihiro-chan stuck up for you. And he doesn't. What's with the question mark? Didn't say anything that complex. It's just I'm thinking about why she would stick up for me. Happens often, too. Genuine confusion. He genuinely cannot understand why she would stick up for him. Even though he's stuck up for her in a lot of different ways, on a lot of different occasions. You know, probably most explicitly when he literally stood up for her and said, you don't have to write that apology letter. The senpai should do it themselves. You know, that was like their first interaction. I think from then on, he should realize that this is how she wants the relationship to be, that they stand up for each other, that they care about each other. It's what you call friendship. Oh, this face is really good too. She's made so many good faces when she's upset. I'm using one as my Discord display picture now. And I was like spamming it in chat like all the time. Imagine for a minute that someone you cherish is being treated unfairly and despised. Ooh. The criticisms from when Hairaku first became a headliner. He remembers. He remembers. They've dragged his name through the dirt. And much more recently, with Haitaro, the same sort of thing happened. He was disparaged. People didn't understand. They couldn't appreciate his talents. So, I like that he went to the library to go back and read what sort of critiques there were when Hairaku first debuted. And I'm sure he thought that they were all going to be just like overwhelming, flowing with praise, jubilation, a new star has arrived, blah, 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 blah. And he's like so pissed off. He's so disappointed. Oh, that's great. I won't forgive them. What the hell do they know about Hairaku? Don't know shit. Yes. That's right. Chihiro-chan is angry just like that. Is this how he's finally going to understand what it is to have a friend? A Rakugo performer that he really likes. That's what having a friend is like. But he came close to this before. Do you remember when he was talking to Chihiro-chan about how she never really seems to make progress, how she's always falling for the same patterns and making the same mistakes. She'll never get anywhere on her own. Just laying into her. And then he's like, you know, though, I realized it really reminds me of characters in Rakugo. It reminds me of the sort of suffering they go through and the many repetitions of the same mistakes, slowly but surely making their way eventually to some greater enlightenment or something. It reminded him of those stories. It seemed like he got close to some realization there about friendship. What a good person. Yeah. Yeah. If you're accepting her goodwill, then be sure to return it with sincerity. Yeah. So like Koya Tako. So this must be some other Rakugo story. What is Koya Tako? The story about Kyuzo, a poor but honest young man who dyes goods. He falls in love with a courtesan named Tako Dayu. After some long months and years, love comes to fruition from his faithfulness. It's a classy story about reciprocating goodwill with goodwill. Yeah, she's totally right. Isn't that a story about pure love? Isn't that a story about someone who's so devoted to someone that they love and eventually they get together? Does he not realize that that's what the story is about? And that by saying that his relationship with Chihiro-chan is just like it is maybe a little telling? I don't know. It's like, I think it's kind of interesting to me. People who aren't interested in relationships, okay, that's one thing. People who don't think they personally will fall in love. Yeah, that's yet another thing. But then there's people that not only have that, but they like don't even have the censors for it. Like they don't read that into any sort of story. They kind of ignore signs of romance unless they're absolutely explicit. I don't know, it's like interesting because it's not even like thinking about yourself. It's like the inability to think of even other people in this sort of scenario. Yugami-kun seems like maybe he falls into this third class. There's like a lot of other situations in the manga too where he's like the last one to realize someone's romantic intent or whatever, even if it's like aimed towards him. Goodwill, showing goodwill begins with a greeting. Good morning, Chihiro-chan, how are you doing? That should be okay. So after 77 chapters, after 16 volumes, we're getting Yugami-kun trying to learn how to be kind to Chihiro-chan. That's actually hilarious. Like, these sorts of 101 type things. Say a nice greeting. This is the sort of stuff that people learn, like, in the first few chapters of a manga like this. This would be a subject that comes up. How can you be friendly towards her? Good morning! Whoa! Whoa! And he's gonna call her Chihiro-chan? That's nuts! He's really going in on this. Like, he feels like he actually has a duty to do this, and thus... Yeah, I don't know. It seems like he doesn't quite get it. He feels like he has to do this, but I'm not sure if he really understands what it means for him to do this. Yeah, he can't do it. Even though it doesn't seem like he understands the full implications of what he would do by calling her her first name, he still, so on some level, he's not comfortable with it. On some level, he knows that it's not something he should do. This isn't it. I reject it. He can't even call her by her given name, even though he's usually so shameless. What's all that shamelessness for? Oh man, we're getting a lot of good yelling shots from her this chapter. I'm all about it. Going to make those two friendly. I mean, Chihiro-chan's in an unrequited friendship right now. That's so brutal. Because that was like a volume 2 arc about how she was obsessed with Kuzumi and jealous of Chihiro's friendship with Kuzumi and jealous of Yugami-kun's closeness to her because she was the baseball coach, the baseball manager. And for Watanabe-kun to throw in this this comment, it's so brutal. But yeah, Chihiro-chan, I guess, could be in an unrequited friendship. She said the friend word, he hasn't. It's like everything is just a step back from where it would be in a normal romance manga. Ryota, I know how you feel. Watanuki-san at the after party, and maybe even when you were last during the school trip, always thought of her friends. I truly wish you lived in a world where kindness is rewarded. Aww. Do you hear something from someone by any chance? Okay, so oh my gosh. So she knows what she's done, but she doesn't think that Yugami-kun knows what she's done. And she has every reason to believe that Yugami-kun would be totally oblivious of such a situation, that no one would inform him. And then even if someone did inform him, he probably would just brush it off. So the fact that he's obviously acting differently after this event seems to suggest he both heard and cared, which is amazing. Watanabe-kun observing the situation, and we still remember the chapter title. He's going to lend a hand. Somehow. They seem kind of stilted. He shook things up in a weird way. I did make Watanuki-chan cry. I'll atone for what I did. I'll lend a hand too. Okay. What will come of this? I assume disaster. But the sort of disaster that maybe brings them closer regardless. Haitaro can't make it. Oh no! Yugami-kun shocked. This is an unprecedented level of shock from Yugami-kun. Spiraling deep into the cosmos. Totally unable to process this news. Oh, our poor boy. Just wants to see some Rakugo. He just loves Rakugo. It's a joke, right, Heitaro? Say it ain't so. That guy, why did he... Now he can't take revenge for last year. At least take care of yourself. You're still young, so at least do that. It's the middle of class. He's still just going in. Chihiro-san is like so embarrassed. It's like, oh my god, I just said in front of everyone that this is my friend. What is wrong with him? Oh my god! Hitaro-san's master, Sansante Hairaku-san, will hurriedly come in his stead. What a roller coaster of a few pages. But I am so happy for Yugami-san. This might be the happiest we have seen him in this entire manga. The fireworks going off. The fireworks that he didn't even bother to look at as a kid. But that I guess have maybe become important to him in some sense since. Dum! Pa 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 pa. Chihiro-san is even more embarrassed. Oh my god, I love it so much. You got me seriously, what's the matter? I would imagine Chihiro-san calls him a friend. Yugami seems to love Rakugo. That's a problem. Oh, I'm so happy for him. Just the triumph. He stands up from his desk, triumphant. What was that noise? Oh, I guess it was my chair rolling off my little flat thing. I have like carpeting, so I have like a... What's it called? A mat? A mat? A chair mat? There's like a word for it, maybe. Oh, we can use that. How is he going to use that? So, I think we should help set the stage for Yugami and Chihi. Why are you calling it Chihi? So, it was explained to him pretty clearly. Unrequited friendship. She thinks of Yugami-kun as a friend, but Yugami-kun seems to not care about her very much at all. Okay? Friendship. But if they start framing it like this and getting the rest of the class involved and everything, they're probably thinking romance, right? They're probably taking this situation a step too far. So I'm fine with it. I'm more than fine with it. I ship it so hard. Which makes me think, I don't know, would I have a, like I was saying before, there's people that don't read romance into anything. There's people that don't ship at all. And am I like devaluing the series by shipping everything during it? Am I missing out on what it would be? Like, am I not appreciating it as much as I should for the kind of pure aspects of it, the parts that are really explicitly there? But then I think of stuff like the text says "got it." I think of Chihiro-san picturing him at work. Think of all these other moments. It's just like, no, I have to ship this. This is OTP. Don't think Yugami will act according to plan. He likes doing the opposite on purpose. You just have to do it naturally. If word of the plan gets out, things are going to get stilted again. Events like this are the best trigger for deepening intimacy. All this language, intimacy and stuff. Okay. I like his face taking up this whole panel too. I don't know. This is probably going to be a train wreck. But I feel like even if it's a train wreck, somehow they'll be brought closer together. And then it's the day Hairaku takes the stage. I'm pretty excited. Yugami just overjoyed, I'm sure. Last year we lined up in order of height, but this year I negotiated with the teacher so we can sit wherever we want. Last year, after all, don't you want to sit next to people you like? Oh, and Yugami, so disturbed. He is so afraid that he'll have to sit behind someone who's super tall and that'll block out his view. I'm sure that's his concern. His mind immediately leaps to how this could be a problem. And secondarily, he wants everyone to enjoy it. So even if he's not the one that's personally stuck behind someone taller than him, you know, he's tall enough himself that probably won't be the case. But what about his friends that are shorter? Friends. What about his acquaintances that are shorter? What about even his enemies or total strangers that are shorter? He wants everyone to be able to enjoy the performance, right? I think this will trigger a sense of injustice in him. Oh, yeah. All right, I get it. So he's like, I need to get front row. Look at that movement. Look, he's schmooving. Front row, or bust. Oh, okay. So Ryo-chan, did they get her involved? Or is she going to mess up the plan by being like, oh, hey, want to sit next to each other? Sure. And then plan over. Because I assume that their plan is to get Chihiro-san sitting next to Yugami-kun. She's like, sure. Don't you know they've already gone to see Hairaku together in an actual like stadium performance or whatever, an actual professional Rakugo event and not just a high school performance. Whatever. Although that was a pretty nice moment between them. Ooh, she successfully stalled. Thank you, beautiful girl, Fujisawa-san. I don't like that he calls her Chihi. It's unnecessary. So they're stalling her. Why? Stick to the plan the best you can. Looks pretty stubborn, so I thought she'd refuse. I understand the situation. If you're okay with me, let me help. Or she could have gone along with her before you saying you can't deal with her. Oh my gosh. I don't know if they should tell Chihiro-chan about this. Not until it's like long over. Like years from now, maybe you can tell her about it. Otherwise, she's going to feel so self-conscious about all of this. Okay. What the heck is their plan? It's more elaborate than just getting them to sit next to each other, it seems. Unless it's something as simple as everyone else is going to try to occupy every spot besides next to Yugami-kun. So she has to sit there, which basically just looks like they're bullying Yugami-kun again. She might go on another rant. No. Okay, so of course, he's sitting there immediately. Front row near the center of the class, according to plan. Now you can only talk to the person to his right. This is the handle of the face-off glove. They should have just tried tricking him more. I mean, this one is tough because they have the Rakugo card. They have Hairaku coming. So that really makes his behavior easy to predict insofar as you know what he's prioritizing more than anything else. In other situations, there's things that you can assume he's prioritizing, but they're on much more of a continuum. So you don't know if somehow they're going to, yeah, all right. So they're going to sit everywhere next to the seat next to Yugami. Sure. She's coming late. We'll have no choice but to sit there. With that, we should be able to share the event, the natural flow of things. We should sit far from Yugami because she would start talking to you guys. She's actually pretty impressed. Okay, Watanabe-kun. Good coordination, good planning. I think a lot of people wanted to kind of make good. They felt bad that they were bad-mouthing him for a while. They felt bad that they were bad-mouthing Yugami-san. So with this, kind of two birds with one stone. They get to go along with his plan. They get to help out. They think they're helping out Yugami. I have no idea how this is actually going to go over. Okay. So yeah, they only have to coordinate their class because the classes sit in sections. Okay. You get to sit next to each other. You're in luck. First row seat is open. Look at the way that everyone else falls into shadow. And the two of them see each other. No, so Nice. Okay. It looks like the plan was successful. And like the chapter must be ending soon. Yeah, that's the last page. All right. What will happen next as they watch this Rakugo performance together? I don't know. I have no idea. I feel like because all of this went fairly smoothly, somehow there's still going to be a train wreck. That's my thinking. Unless we're kind of end of series miracle rush now, where just nice things will happen. That would be quite nice too, wouldn't it? All right. Well, we'll find out. Bye-bye for now.